Hello again, everybody. It's Doris at DF Designs. How are my little fluid art friends today? This is going to be a multi-part video, so I'm going to be doing part of it and then stopping the camera and then doing part of it tomorrow, because part of it's got to dry before I can do anything else with it. Okay, somebody asked me, how do I hang up the tiles? Well, it's simple. Okay, I don't have the label for these, but you can buy these at different hardware stores in the picture hanging department. I take the screws out and I take the plastic piece off of it. I don't know if you can see, it's got a little white plastic piece on the bottom. So anyway, and this is what I'm left with right here. Okay, this one is going to get 2 of these. It'll dry, and then tomorrow it'll get a wire on it. Okay, now it's very important that you keep this in an L shape like this. Now I already made 2 dots. Here, let me go over here and do this one so I can show you. Now, I don't really measure how far down they are. I just kind of look at the picture and I figure out where, you know, maybe 3-4 inches down, depending on how big the picture is. Now, this one's kind of easy to do because it's got straight lines across. So I know that I'm going to get straight lines. What you want to do is you want to take a ruler. Now, you don't need it centered. You just need to know where an inch is in. Okay, wait a minute. Let me uncap this. Sorry. Okay. See, I got the 17 at the edge, so I'm gonna do. No, wait a minute. Yeah, an inch. Because once you resin those on, it is going to be absolutely unbelievable how strong they are. Okay, there's the 8 inches, so I'm going to make a little mark at 9 inches. Okay, that's where your 2 hangers are going to go. Sometimes you get one that's a little skinny and you don't want to put a wire going across like this one right here. So I measured across, found the center, and I decided I'm going to go ahead and put a bigger one right here. Now, what I usually do is wherever I've made the mark at, and you see the little holes in the middle, I look for the holes, okay? Now, it's very important once you get it on there, that see that hole's in the center, which is the center of this. So what you're trying to do is, here, let me bring it up so you can see it. Hopefully you can see that dot in the middle. And you want to try to keep it straight. Okay, then the basic thing that you got to do with it now is you just take your resin and you take it on the end of your stick, and basically you're just drizzling across it. Okay, you want to make sure some gets in the holes, and you don't want to get too close to the top because you don't want any of the resin in that hinge. And basically that's all you got to do. Okay, now don't move it too much until it sets up. So very carefully I'm going to move it over here. Now this one, when it dries, it's going to be ready to hang. All I did to finish off the back of my tiles is just to do some spray painting on the back. Now this one, if it's not exactly straight, It's not going to make that big of a difference really, because your wire is going to be still going straight across, but you want to try to still keep it straight so it looks professional on the back. See, this is the hardest part, is getting that to stay there when you got your gloves on. Okay, okay, now this one, I'm just going to drizzle a little bit over it. You don't want too much. Tomorrow, when you check it, if it doesn't look like it has enough on there, and don't worry about getting little drips around there, because you can always take an alcohol rag and wipe that off. Okay, and now I'm going to do this one real quick to show you, and then I will be back tomorrow to show you how to put the wire on these two that need the wire. And this one's not going to stay up. See, I thought about this before. Putting some tape right there, getting it right where the dot is. Okay, now this is supposed to hold. Okay, it's not going to hold it up. See, I thought about, okay, it's probably because I got alcohol on my hands. Oh, it's going to give me fits. But you get what I'm doing. Okay, you want it to stand up, and it's going to give me problems, so I got to use the tape. Well, another thing you can do is you can take the tape, fold it in half, okay, so it's got the little ring right there in the middle, okay, and then just stick the tape. Come on, don't let go. Okay, the dot is in the hole. Let me see if this one will stand up on its own. Yeah, this one will. You don't need to leave that tape on forever. I mean, you just want that ring to stay straight up. And there we go. Okay. Now you don't want to put a whole lot. You just want enough to cover it. And it's kind of tricky with the tape. I thought it would be. If you can get enough on there just to get it to stay in place, you can do another layer a little later. And basically, that's it. I have a use for the rest of the resin. I've got to stop this now. I'm going to let these dry overnight, and then I'll show you how I put the wire on it. And this one, if it's dry, I will go ahead and hang it on the wall and show you how it's hanging on the wall. Anyway, well, really, before you keep it on the wall for too long, you really need to have it completely cured, which takes about, I usually give it 24 to 72 to 48 hours. Okay, so anyway, I'll be back when these are dry to show you how I put the wire on it. Okay, bye for now. Okay, they dried overnight. I will show you first the one that's just got a hanger. This is the hanger, and this dried nicely. I doubt that'll ever come off. Give it another, it's been about maybe 16 hours since I did them. And don't worry if it doesn't flatten, because it's gonna, how do I put it? It's gonna hang a little funny, and you know, I don't know how to put it. And the only thing you have left to do is to put, I get these clear bumpers. Let me see if I can get it up to focus. These are just the clear ones. You want to put it down in the corner, but not right on the corner. Okay, there's one. And after I do this last bumper, I'm going to show you. Try to get them as even as possible. Now, if you get some that the glue doesn't work right, you can always put a little drop of E6000 underneath each of them. But anyway, now this one is ready to hang. I don't have a way to show that to you. I will probably just take a picture of it. Okay, now, this is the one that we got 2 hangers on. This is the wire that I found. Karen Goodrich, I think is her name. She recommends it. It says maximum picture weight 20 pounds. Okay, well, these smaller tiles don't weigh 20 pounds, so don't worry about that. Now, I like to work right off of the roll. Okay, what I do is well, first off, the real important thing is you go in from the top and bring it up underneath. Okay? Then you bend it so you know where you're going to end up having it at. Then what I do is I measure it where it's going to end up going through the other loop, make a bend, and now hopefully my hands don't fail me with these. I use big ones because I have no strength in my hands. I'm sure some of you got a husband or boyfriend, or maybe even in your own toolbox. You want to leave yourself about 4 inches so you have enough to work with. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to put that off this side. Okay, reason I got it up is because hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Okay, I went down through here and I got the piece. You want to cross it over towards the middle because we're going to do that on the other side too. Then you want to come up underneath. I learned this one from Karen Goodrich too. Okay, you come up underneath. Before you close that loop up, you want to put your tail back through it. Okay, now you don't want to pull on this one because you'll mess up your measurement to the other side. Now what I do is, because I have a hard time pulling, hanging on to something this little, which is the end of the wire, I just grab the end of the wire and I pull it. Okay, then the only other thing I do with that after that is I start wrapping it around. When I cut it off, I try to do it on the side that's going to be facing the painting. I don't know if you can see. Trying to make it stay on camera and go in there is not easy. Okay, I didn't have it in the cut part. And while you're holding it together to cut it, okay, it's not going to cut for me. Let me see if I can do it from this side. You squeeze it, then you just take your little tail and you wiggle it while you're squeezing it, and it should come off. Then you wrap the rest of it. Now what I always do is I make sure my end is on the side of this that's facing the I have seen some people take a little bit of electrical tape and wrap it around. Okay, here is, let me move this over so it's underneath the camera. Here is the other side. Now you're coming in from the top, okay? And then you match up where your bend is at, okay? Now you're going to wrap it over, coming towards the middle. And this is kind of a tricky part because you're going to want your tail to come back through here. Oh, wait a minute. No, up through here. Sorry. But you want this tail wire to be on this side of that little wire. Okay, and then you're going to bring your tail through there. Then you're going to pull it tight. Now you can see you have enough room for your nail. Okay, and then basically all I do is I just wrap some more. Of course I've got way too much on this side, but that's okay. I'm holding it and I'm squeezing as hard as I can and wiggling this wire. There we go. And then basically, reason I like using this wire, she suggested it, it's like coated in a plastic, but you still end up with a couple of little how do I put it? Little pieces that might be sticking out. That might scratch your finger or their finger. So basically, that's all you do. And then of course with this one, just like the other one, I put little bumpers on the bottom corners. Okay, there's the corner. Now because the tile has like a lot of indentations, that's why it may not stick, because it might be on this part but not touching that part. That's why a little bit of E6000 will help it stay there by filling in this little gap right here. And there you go. Oops, let me turn it this way. And now let me hold it up for the camera. So basically that's how I finish off my pieces. You always want to make sure, now I got a box here just to bring it up higher to the camera. You always want to make sure you've got something soft that it sits on. Because you don't, it takes a while for it to be cured enough to where it won't get an indentation on it. So you just don't want anything rubbing against, pushing into it. Anyway, so there you go. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I guess basically all I can really do is just show you how this looks when it's hanging on my finger. So, I will take a short picture and put that at the end of the video. And I'll do a picture of the other one hanging up. So, I hope y'all enjoyed this little video so you could see how I hang my tiles. Tiles they're heavy, but they're not that heavy. Okay? And they're very flat, and they can take the heat. That's why I like using them in my resin projects. So, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and hit the little bell for notifications to see when I upload my next video. I want to thank all my subscribers, my future subscribers, and just my viewers for viewing. I love the resin right out of you guys, like my, oops, it's not on, like my little sign says. There we go. Love the resin right out of you. And I hope you like this video, and I hope to see you in the next video. So, thank you for watching. Bye for now.